Hey, Christy Mattoon here with Hey, Christy Mattoon here with Mind Rewire. Sitting here drinking my coffee. Sun's coming up. It's absolutely beautiful out. I need to slow down a little bit. I'm going to talk to you this morning about procrastination. I want to give a shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk and to Vayner Nation. Because what he's doing and what he's talking about over there is just amazing. With the millennial crowd and kids anywhere from 12 years old all the way up to 30 are listening to this guy and getting pumped full of great information. And some of it you have to kind of stop for a second, especially if you're my age. It's like a record screeching, you know, when the old needle would screech across the record. It's like, and then you kind of get a different feel. Try and understand what he's saying, because a lot of it makes a ton, in fact, all of it makes a ton of sense. And just the knowledge that you can do something different by doing something different, which is something none of us were taught. We were taught that there was a certain way, a certain thing you had to go through, always be this certain direction, and it just doesn't work for most of us, right? Going to college, taking the medicine, like all of these things were making us sicker and making us crazier. And it just didn't help. So he's teaching folks how to do it different. And one of the things I hear about in my demographic a ton is people complain all the time about being procrastinators. They procrastinate. They want to know if procrastination is a subconscious issue. And at the age he's talking to kids, you can create a habit and habituate procrastination pretty easily if you're not careful. Which is why I want to throw this information their direction. And if you're my age, right, if you're up in my demographic, we're taught how to procrastinate. It's part of what we were showed how to do in school, I believe, right? And whether you think that's true or not, if you're still a procrastinator, this is going to help you, because I'm going to teach you how not to procrastinate. All right, so procrastination, what typically we say it is that, you know, it's when you pick something up, you got a project, you're going to work on it, and then you put it down and you walk away from it, you don't do it. And you bash yourself because you didn't get it done because you really want to do it. And then you come back and you pick it up, and then you put it back down and you don't do it. And then you bash yourself because you really wanted to do it. And then you wait for a long time and you don't come back to it. And then you finally come back to it and you're just like, ugh. Now, here's the problem with most projects. There's no immediate gratification. There's no immediate result. It's just something you decided you wanted to do, and you put it on yourself to get it done, and then when you don't do it, you bash yourself because you didn't get it done. Now, is that subconscious issue, or is that just you're just doing that to yourself, right? Some of it can be subconscious if it was, you know, somewhere in your childhood. If you modeled parents that were procrastinators, maybe that's where you picked it up. Or if it's a thing where, you know, you were told that you were lazy and you never get stuff done because you didn't do it in your parents' timeline, which can happen, right? If a parent is like really pushing you to do stuff and you're not getting it done in their timeline, now all of a sudden you're lazy. And none of it's true, right? None of the story is true. You're not a procrastinator and you're not lazy. You've actually been trained not to get the thing done. So every time you pick that thing up and you put it back down and don't do anything, you're logging information inside your brain. Every time you bash yourself and you give yourself this rush of negative emotion, you're sealing it into the system. I'm not going to get that thing done. And then sure enough, the next time you come back to it, you pick it up, you put it back down, you bash yourself, you do it again, it turns into a pattern. Now you've habituated the process, and it probably is logged in your subconscious. It's probably logged in that neural pathway somewhere. And now it is hard to get out of. It's hard to walk over and actually pick that thing up and do it, or anything else for that matter. You find yourself doing it over and over in cycles with pretty much everything in your life. So how do you train yourself to do this differently? Here's how you train yourself to do it differently. Step number 1, go pick the project up. Look at it. Kind of plan it out in pieces. Do something for 30 minutes. Try and do something small on that project in 30 minutes to completion. And then get super excited. Get super excited. Because when you get excited, you get this rush of amazing chemicals in your system, and then you feel good about yourself. And in that moment, you're creating a new neural pathway. In that moment, you've told yourself a new story and you're giving yourself a new signal. And in that moment, the next time you come back to that, it's going to be a little bit easier to actually work on it again. Step number 2, go back to that project, pick it up, 30 minutes, work on it, do something on it for 30 minutes. To completion, get it finished. If it takes longer than 30 minutes, take a break at 30 minutes, come back to it, do another 30 minutes. To completion, get a part of it done to completion. And then get super excited about it. Get so excited that you're just like blow yourself away with excitement that you completed it. You did something on that project to move it forward. In that moment, you are adding to the neural pathway that's telling you, I can do this. I can do this. And then you get super excited again. Walk away from it. Come back to it. And the reason why I'm telling you to walk away from it is because we're really trying to train the pattern, right? We want to walk away. We want to come back. We want to do it again, because every time you do that, you're giving your brain new information and you're filling up that little file in your head with, I can do that. Give yourself that rush of good chemicals saying that you can do it. And you're just adding to the story. You're telling yourself a whole new different story that's going to be complete by the time the project is through. You will find out that the words change. Instead of a procrastinator, what would you call yourself? Think of something juicy, something good, right? You're a hard worker. You're training yourself to get through something. You're training yourself in a pattern that's going to lead to somebody else looking at you and going, that person's a hard worker. That person has a good work habit. We weren't taught good work habits. School certainly doesn't teach it to you. They hand you a book and tell you to do hours of homework, but tell you no way to get through it, right? That happened to all of us. Or you worked on a farm for hours, if you're the older population, right? Even a little bit older than me, with no break and no way to reset your system after that. So you're going to come back to, this is step 3, come back to the project, pick it back up, work for 30 minutes, get a part of it done to completion, put it aside, pat yourself on the back, get super excited, be like, wow, this is how easy it is to get something done, right? Yoda said this, there is no try, there's only do. Why is there no try? I'm going to do another video on that. That just now gave me a great idea. I'm going to do another video on that and I'll attach it. But if you just keep doing in these little pieces, you're just doing. That's it. Just do, right? There is no procrastination. There is no lazy. You are not lazy. You just trained the neural pathway wrong. That's all. So we're just going to retrain it. And you're going to do this great and you're going to finish that project. The problem with most projects is there is no immediate gratification. You're going to get the thing done, and then there's going to be another thing you have to do, especially if you're trying to create your own business, right? And this is what Gary Vee is teaching his demographic to do there, is to create their own businesses. He teaches it in very huge different ways all across, anything to make yourself some money, right? It's kind of cool actually what he's doing. But there's always another piece. And if you have a good work ethic and a good work habit, and you're just going to get a piece done at a time and pat yourself on the back, give yourself that rush of chemicals, feel super excited, it'll be easier next time to pick it up, and you're going to quit bashing yourself. No matter what happened to you as a child, no matter what you were told, no matter what you thought you learned, you can recreate this wheel. You can recreate your system. You are not lazy. You're wonderfully and beautifully made. You are, and you were actually made to do this kind of stuff, whatever it is. I love what he says, that do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever makes you feel good. And if that's working in a kitchen, if that's working in a corporate situation, if that's working at McDonald's, whatever the thing is, if you are happy in that moment, in that period of time with what you're doing, do it to the 120th degree, make it the best possible thing you can do for yourself. Enjoy the crap out of it. Who cares? Just do. Just do, right? No matter what it is, no matter what level it's at. And then continue to do that, because that's when you're training those neural pathways that you can do pretty much anything. I hope this helps. Blessings and peace. I try to keep these under 10 minutes. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Check out mindrewire.com. I always appreciate that. And I'll be talking to you again soon.